Right now at 6, neighbors weigh in after police shoot a man in Salem they say was armed.
It is very concerning because I usually bring my kids with me.
Plus, in his first TV interview, how Metro's new president says he plans to approach our region's biggest challenges.
I'm here to bring solutions.
Then, the I-84 eyesore getting a much-needed facelift and new purpose.
I think anytime you can get a veteran off the streets is a great fit for the neighborhood.
Also,
the United States' first World Cup match is practically here. A report with the team from Irvine, California, coming up.
So for the community, like for my children, that's where it gets scary, is because I have children.
Our top story at 6, a lot in Salem turned a crime scene after police shot and injured a man they say was armed. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pitawanich. It all happened just before 7:30 this morning off Portland Road Northeast and Rose Garden Street. Our John Adams has the latest from Salem.
The original 911 call came from an encampment on the far end of this vacant lot right behind me. When Salem police arrived this morning, they encountered a man with a weapon. Numerous law enforcement vehicles surrounded this empty lot in Salem around 7:30 Thursday morning. According to Salem police, one of their officers got into a confrontation with an armed man at a campsite on the back of this lot. At some point, the officer shot the man. Medics treated the man at the scene before he was taken to the hospital.
It is very concerning because I usually bring my kids with me, and sometimes we even shop here, and I see a lot of parents with their children here.
We spoke with people in the parking lot of a nearby Goodwill store just a few hundred feet from where the incident took place.
I do know that a lot of people like to camp out over in empty lots around here in Salem, so there is some suspicious activity.
Oregon State Police have taken over the investigation, which is standard protocol in Marion County. We still don't know what led up to the confrontation or what type of weapon the suspect had when he was shot. But for people who visit the businesses nearby, the incident is concerning.
So for the community, like for my children, that's where it gets scary, is because I have children.
We are still working to find out the condition of the man that was shot that is currently in the hospital. We have reached out to Oregon State Police for more information. In Salem, John Adams, KGW News.
And of course, we expect investigators to give us more updates over the next couple of days. So a reminder, if you can always find the very latest on KGW.com or on our free TV streaming app, KGW Plus.
Okay, let's take you outside now with a live look over the Willamette and the Rose City. Mount St. Helens there in the distance. 69 degrees yesterday, 78 right now. Quite a jump. What a difference a day makes. If you're wondering about the heat, meaning the 90s, well, yep, it's still on the way.
Yep, it's coming for us. Meteorologist Matt Sfino joining us now. Matt, walk us through what's next.
Well, what's next is another great day tomorrow, very much like today. It's just beautiful outside. You can see the clear blue sky that we have. 77 degrees, low humidity, light winds. And again, tomorrow, nearly a carbon copy of today, maybe a couple degrees warmer, but still really nice. But the weather impact alert days are still Sunday and Monday. We'll warm up on Saturday to about 90, but that's fairly tolerable. But mid to upper 90s for Sunday and Monday, that's a major heat risk, especially for those that are really sensitive to hot weather. So think about how you can spend the hot part of the days in the afternoon and evening hours. Don't do any strenuous activities if you can avoid it, and make sure you hydrate. That's something everybody can do. Water is key. It'll help you feel better and help to minimize the threat of any major heat-related situation. So that's what we want to look at Sunday and Monday. We are under a heat watch, extreme heat watch, for those days from Sunday morning until Tuesday evening for Portland, Salem, the lower Columbia Valley, and the western part of the gorge. Western Washington now in the act with a heat advisory. For the lowlands here, again, same time frame from Sunday into Tuesday morning there. This should begin to cool off with onshore flow Tuesday afternoon. And then the southern Oregon coast, this is interesting too. They have a heat advisory from Friday until Saturday evening. We may see some mid-90s on the southern Oregon coast, which is unusual even down around Brookings and Gold Beach. So we'll keep an eye on all of that for you. But again, we're around 90 on Saturday, upper 90s Sunday and Monday. We're going to set records those days. Also have some very warm nights with lows in the mid-60s. That can make cooling off for those without AC a little bit challenging. And keep an eye on the fire danger. It's going to be high with east winds, low humidity, and the hot temperatures, guys.
Yeah, the time to prepare definitely now.
Sure
Thanks
is.
so much, Matt.
Starting off your headlines, we are following a serious crash involving a moped in northeast Portland. Investigators say the rider hit a guardrail on the ramp from Columbia Boulevard to 33rd, which is closed in both directions. The victim's injuries are described as potentially life-threatening. Police are asking anyone with information about the crash to contact them.
In Gresham, authorities are asking for help finding a missing 14-year-old. London Williams was last seen around 1 this afternoon at her home near Southeast Stark and 202nd. Her family is worried that she may harm herself. They say London has the left side of her hair lightened and usually wears it in pigtails. Police say she's also familiar with TriMet and may have taken the number 20 bus. If you know where she is, call Gresham Police.
Well, another tough day for families and friends of the 11 victims in the Longview chemical tank blast. Officially, they found out how their loved ones died today. The Cowlitz and Multnomah County coroners say the cause of death, alkaline chemical burns. The burns are consistent with exposure to something called white liquor, the substance inside the tank that ruptured, which ruptured late last month. That's used in the industrial paper making process. State and federal investigations are underway at this point, but it could be 6 months to a year before they identify what caused the blast.
Another difficult headline here. A suspect has pleaded not guilty this afternoon to killing his girlfriend's 2-year-old daughter. This was at Blue Lake Park in Fairview last year. The detectives arrested 38-year-old Dyson Ruda just yesterday. A warning, some of the details here are not appropriate for all viewers. According to court records, when police showed up to the park last year, Ruda first told them the girl had choked on rice and later said she had fallen from a playground slide. Doctors found evidence of brain injuries and significant bruising, adding those injuries did not match the suspect's story. Nearly a year later, the medical examiner ruled the death a homicide. Ruda is charged with second-degree murder, assault, and criminal mistreatment.
2.5 years in federal prison. That is the sentence a judge handed a man for assaulting an ICE officer during a protest at Portland's ICE facility. Court documents show Robert Jacob Hoops threw a large rock, hitting the officer in the head. He also ripped out a stop sign and used it as a battering ram, damaging the entrance to the building. Federal authorities arrested and charged Hoops a few days later using facial recognition to identify and track him down. The judge also ordered Hoops to pay $8,000 in restitution.
All right, we have a major update this evening on one of Portland's biggest eyesores. Yeah, this one, the old Gordon's Fireplace building off I-84, the one we know makes some of you groan out loud. Just passed it today, but guess what? It's finally getting a makeover.
Yeah, some people waiting a long time for this. Investigative reporter Kyle Aboshi been watching the decline over the years. About time we had some good news on this, Kyle.
It is good news. If you've driven along Interstate 84 in Northeast Portland, you've probably seen the old building. It is hard to miss.
After years of neglect, one of Portland's most visible vacant buildings is getting new life. Crews started repainting the old Gordon's Fireplace building in Northeast Portland, which had become a magnet for graffiti. Warren Webb owns Blind Onion Pizza right across the street.
I am so excited. And this has been an eyesore for years now, and we've been putting up with it. All the people living there and coming across here and doing damage to our building, and this is exciting.
The city of Portland paid $17,000 to clean up the graffiti after new owners took over. The building sold at auction last fall for just over $500,000.
It's been generating complaints for many years, and so we're chipping in to help level set and reset.
The nonprofit Do Good Multnomah plans to build 26 to 30 units for homeless veterans. The project, either a renovation or a complete teardown, is at least 3 years away.
I think anytime you can get a veteran off the streets is a great fit for the neighborhood.
Built in 1918, it started as an aircraft factory, became a furniture store, then Gordon's Fireplace for more than 60 years. In 2016, Gordon's Fireplace closed its doors, and the building hasn't been the same since.
If you have to look at it all the time, it's just brutal. You know, I'm just glad Portland's starting to clean up their act, you know, and I think it's a trend.
You know, it's a slow trek back, and I hope this is part of the coming back.
Crews are about halfway done repainting the building. They hope to finish tomorrow. So what will keep vandals from coming back? The new owners will pay to cover any new graffiti.
Yeah, talk about commitment. Kyle Aboshi with that follow-up.